Welcome to the Metal Bob Live podcast. I am your host, Metal Bob. Today's show is brought to you by Legend Picks and also artist Jeremiah Kalleck. You can find links to our sponsors and more at the Metal Bob Live website. There you can also find links to the latest Metal Bob gear, including shirts, hoodies, and more. On today's show, I had the honor of speaking with Greg Hipskind. Greg is the drummer for Wicked Liz and the Bellyswirls, and he is also the owner of the Quad City Rock Academy. We talk music, and we talk the Rock Academy and more. So sit back, have a listen, and enjoy the show. Thank you. Greg, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
So what's the good word tonight?
Just did some band classes tonight, and then actually got a band practice of my own in tonight. So I just finished that.
Awesome.
Now I'm actually. I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere quiet to go do this. So I'm actually sitting down by the river right now. So.
Oh, nice, man. How's the weather out there, man?
Today it's really nice. Tomorrow it's supposed to get colder, but yeah, it's right now it's probably like mid 60s, low 60s. I don't know, but it's crazy windy though.
Yeah, it's supposed to change the next couple days. It sounds like, but we'll get
and
back.
That's all right.
There.
I'm heading to Florida in a few days, so I don't.
Oh well, so you don't care. You're good to go.
Out here.
So you're good to go, man. You don't care.
Yeah, okay. It's supposed to be like low to mid 40s the rest of all next week. I'm like, who cares? Possible snow. I don't care. I'm gone. I'm gonna be on the beach.
I feel you, brother. What part of Florida?
We're staying in the town of Sebastian, which is the ocean side, like near Vero Beach.
Okay.
So my wife's aunt and uncle just bought a house down there, and like about 3 or 4 weeks ago, they're like, "Hey, guest rooms are ready whenever you want to plan a trip." And at that time, we were like under like the big deep freeze here, and I was like, "What's the temperature down there right now?" And it was like 79 degrees. It was -4 here.
Yeah, no brainer. I'm out.
And I'm like, dude, we need to find a way to get down there. And I found the cheapest airplane flights I've ever seen in my life. So we're going from Chicago to Orlando, and it's $45 round trip.
You got room for one more? I'm ready.
I could leave one of my kids at home. Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be great, but I don't want to make you do that. So.
But then, like when I saw that price, it was a 1-day sale, and I was like, how can we pass it up?
Hell no, you got to do that.
Like, we don't have to pay for a hotel. You know, flights are dirt cheap. It's going to be super cheap to do this trip. So we bit the bullet right then and bought the tickets.
Awesome, man. Well, buddy, I'll tell you what, man, I really appreciate you giving me your time tonight, man. I'm gonna dig in here and ask you a few questions, and I think you'll have some answers for me.
All right, I'll do my best.
Well, first off, man, can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do? And, I know you've been a drummer for a long time and you've been in bands for a long time. You want to give us a little insight on Greg?
Yeah. So, I started as a kid of course, like the MTV generation. So I've loved music since I was a kid. And I finally got into playing drums when I was like 14. And I saw Poison in concert. Like, I think it was during the Flesh and Blood tour. And at that show, I remember being there with my buddies and being like, I got to do that. Like, I was a big hair metal fan anyway. So, and like Ricky Rocket's spinning his sticks, and like there's lasers and explosions and chicks everywhere. And I'm like, that's what I got to do. I got to play drums. So I saved up my paper route money that I had at the time, and I bought a used drum set for like $75 at a yard sale. And my parents were like, well, you're getting drum lessons. So started taking drum lessons, and so I've been playing now. This summer will be 30 years now, actually, that I've been playing. I've been in, my main band is Wicked Liz the Bellyswirls. And we got together our first gig was in, I believe, March of '99.
I was going to say, you guys have been together quite a long time.
Yeah, we celebrated our 20th anniversary in 2019. We had a couple big 20th anniversary shows. 2020 was pretty much wiped off the books for us. We started 2020. We actually flew over to Taiwan and did some shows over there. And then shortly after we came back, coronavirus hit. So that shut down everything we did. And we've gotten together twice since January of 2020. Once in June for a little rehearsal, and tonight.
Nice.
So, but with that band, we've released 4 CDs of our own stuff over the years, and a live DVD. So band-wise, that's kept me busy. I've done other side projects here and there, sprinkled in through the years. But in 2004, I started teaching drums for a living, and I was at a music store here in town for a few years, and then it closed down. Then I moved to a different music school and was there for a few years, and it shut down. And I was like, I had a big clientele of students. I'm like, I can't just leave them hanging. They're kids. They love music just like I do. And if I quit on them, they'll probably quit. So me and my wife, she's like, well, you can either get a real job, or if you think you can make this work, because I had this in the back of my head that I could start a killer rock school. And she's like, I got your back if you think you can do this. So I started QC Rock Academy, and we opened up December of 2011, and have done some pretty killer, amazing things. Right now we're having about 325 kids coming through every week for private lessons. We got bands, and so that's kind of like a synopsis of what I do.
Wow. Yeah, I just want to back up a little bit. So you guys said you played Taiwan. How did that come about?
There's a local guy. He's actually in California now. I don't know if you know him out here or not. Dale Fisher. Do you know him?
The name sounds familiar. I'm not sure if I can put a name to the face, or the face to the name.
Yeah, he. I know he, like, back in the day in the '80s, he played with Lynn Allen for a while.
Okay.
So he's a Davenport guy, but he lives in Southern California now. And every year he comes back to town, and he'll sit in with us, and whatnot. And he's got his own albums that he's been putting out. He's a solo artist. And a friend of his who lived in Southern California for a while moved back to his homeland of Taiwan and opened a rock club about 5 or 6 years ago. And they still kept in contact, and Dale was putting out a new album. And the friend's like, you should come over and do like a CD release thing in Taiwan. And Dale's like, well, I'm just a solo artist. I don't have a band. So he sends us messages as a band. He's like, well, do you guys want to go over there with us, or with me? And at first I was like, yeah, right. Like, why would we ever go to Taiwan, of all places? If you were to tell me before that to put a list of like 25 places in the world you'd like to see, Taiwan probably wouldn't even cross my mind.
Right.
But we had gotten together for a rehearsal, just us here in town, and the guys in the band are like, what do you think? You want to do that trip, man? And we checked prices, and it wasn't too bad. And all of our schedules lined up that it would work if we could make it happen. So we did it. And it took us, it was a 28-hour flight,
wow,
I believe, to get there. So, we spent about a week there and played a couple gigs, and it was very surreal. you know, not that there was a ton of people at this club, that they had a really good crowd. Like, so the first night we're playing these songs that are originals of ours. And they don't speak English at all over there, but they're still totally digging it. Like, it's rocking. They're dancing. They're having a good time. And I got a little emotional on stage that first night. Like, and it wasn't even a slower song or a ballad. Like, it was a straight ahead rocker song. And I was like, how in the world did this happen, that us idiots have made it to the other side of the world to do this, and people dig it? So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we did a couple shows, and then we flew back. It was pretty crazy.
That's awesome, man. That's cool, man. That's pretty awesome, man. That had to been a really good experience for you guys, man.
Yeah, definitely won't forget that one.
No, but now I want to get back. So I mean, I know you guys, you've been doing this for a long time, man. Then you got into telling me that you were, you had a bunch of students. The whole thing fell apart. Then you started your own rock school. So
yep.
you've been a staple in the Quad Cities now for almost 20 years.
Yeah, like, I did some high school bands, when I first started. We didn't gig much, but by the time I was 20, gosh, I think I joined this band when I was 22, I think. Man, gosh, that was a lifetime ago, man.
Yeah, but your rock school's going on 20 years now.
The school has been around for almost 10 years.
Oh, 10 years. Okay, I thought you said. Yep. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was 2000. Oh, yeah, 10 years. 10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me backtrack here.
2011.
Man, I don't even know what day it is anymore, man.
It's Wednesday?
10 years. It is Wednesday. 10 years. My bad. But
yeah, so like, for, the first while, with, the first, I don't know, 5-6 years, we were hard gigging, like playing pretty much every weekend, Fridays and Saturdays, and not just in the Quad Cities. We were like regional, anywhere between, Des Moines and Chicago, any given weekend, sometimes even far, Indianapolis or, Ohio or wherever we've been. So, we've played a lot all over the country, really, at this point. But, yeah, we've been doing it, and it's the same original 4 people for this whole time.
That's awesome.
So, a lot of people can't last 6 months as a band without some kind of lineup change. But yeah, 20 some years, like at this point, we're honestly, we're like family at this point, and we've been doing it too long. It's like, why quit now?
Right.
We still enjoy each other's company, and we still enjoy making music together. And it's like, you've been in enough bands. It's like, it's not always fun starting over. So let's just keep a good thing going.
Absolutely. And you guys were voted number 1 in the Quad Cities quite a few years in a row there for a while. I remember that.
Yeah, we've used to pack the places in, and people have loved us. We've got to play, open up a bunch of huge shows, and it's music has been far bigger than I ever thought it would be in my life. I've gotten to do some of the coolest, craziest things you could think of because of music. And, we've been extremely lucky.
Yeah, right on, man. So I know that, I want to go back to the school here for a second, if you don't mind. So,
sure.
You guys, it looks like things are slowly maybe getting better. I know that you guys have done a lot of Battle of the Band stuff, and I was lucky enough to take part in one of those a few years ago as a judge and had a great time. Is that something that may be coming back this year?
Oh gosh, I hope so. Usually when we have our biggest show of the year for our students is the Battle of the Bands, and we always tie it into our anniversary party, which is in December. Of course, this last December, we didn't get to have it. I really hope we can do it again this year because it'll be our 10th anniversary. So I want to do a huge blowout, so I really hope we're able to do it. But like this last year, our student bands got to do one show in all of 2020, and that was in September, outdoors in Rock Island. And it was a huge show. The kids were excited, but it's been so hard to keep the kids focused. Like, it's like, what's the point of being in a band if you're not gigging? And that's the big thing to look forward to. And it's we can't book gigs. It was hard to keep these kids, driving forward, but most of them have stuck with it. And we got a show coming up in May for them. That's a big outdoor thing, kind of a summer kickoff. And so now they're looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I know that that Battle of the Bands was getting bigger and bigger every year too. The crowds were getting bigger. The venues had to get bigger. So
yeah.
it'd really be nice to see that, come about one more time, man, because it was really heading in the right direction.
Oh, yeah. Like every year was bigger than the previous. And we had to keep like changing venues because like we started it at Rascals Live, and there, I think capacity they say is like 275. But I think the second year we had it there, we were at well over 400 in there. And then we moved it to another place that it could hold 400, I think it was. And we had like 500 people in there. So it was a bigger place. And like, I think the last year we had it I think the capacity of this place is around 800, and we had just shy of it, maybe like 750 through the door.
Wow. And
it's a huge, like we do a production for it too. It's not, you think of teen bands and you'll see some, not to like dog on what other schools do, but like when you see like a kid band playing, they're just kind of standing there and, it doesn't sound great sometimes, but we prime our students and we put on a production and it's lights and, full crowd and energy. And it's a freaking great time, man.
Yeah, man, I was super stoked that year that I got to be one of the judges, man. I was really, really impressed with the talent of all these kids. I mean, you guys do a great job with your students, man. They're all top notch.
And some of the kids, like, now, they've been together for quite a while now. They're like recording their own stuff. Some of our kids, their music's out on, Apple and Spotify and whatnot. You can listen to all their stuff on there. It's like these kids are making it happen. And you and I never had anything like that when we were teenagers.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I had some older friends that have been doing it for a while that would give me a little guidance, but everything we ever did was trial and error, see what worked and what didn't. So these kids, having mentors like me or some of the other instructors are extremely lucky to have somebody that's like, all right, here's all the knowledge you'll ever need.
Right. And not to mention the friendships and the bond that they've built between each other. I mean, they'll have that forever.
Yeah. They'll always look back on, man, when I was in high school in that band, when we played those packed houses like that, how cool would that be? When I never played shows like that when I was in high school.
Dude, when I was 15, if 5 people showed up, I was stoked, man.
Oh, yeah.
These kids are playing for hundreds of people, man. It's great.
Yeah, they're killing it. So, yeah, it's a cool thing. And, I hope here as the year goes on, live music will start making a comeback and get these kids back on stage some more.
Yeah, man, and kudos to you, brother. I mean, you're a staple in the Quad Cities, man. I mean, you've done a great thing, man. And, thank you for that, dude, because you probably don't get enough thanks for that, man. I know you love doing what you do, but it's great that these kids have somewhere where they can go, like the Quad City Rock Academy, to learn if they want to be a bass player, a guitar player, a drummer, a vocalist. I mean, they have all those options with your school, and that's awesome.
Yeah. And, the players that we have that teach for us, hands down, are some of the best in the area too. Like, these kids are getting the best experience from the best instructors. I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but there's nowhere else around here that does that kind of thing.
No, and you don't have to toot your own horn, man. The proof's in the pudding, brother. I mean,
So
you guys do a great job, man.
thank you.
You know.
It's a lot of fun. It can be stressful running the business side of it, but hanging with the kids and watching them playing music and like putting on shows, like the amount of times that I've like watched our students play from the side of the stage and like choke up or, you know, tear up a little bit, just knowing like the struggles they've went through to like get to what they're doing and then shining on stage like they do. Like it's total proud papa moment on those things.
Absolutely. You know, and I remember being that age, dude, and playing live in front of people, and I'm sitting there watching these students of yours in this battle of the bands, and I'm like, I don't ever remember being that good when I was that age. I'm just like,
I know I wasn't.
Hell no, I was not that good. I'm just looking at these kids going, man, you know, that's just killer, man. That's killer. Now I know,
and now like some of them are getting better than not better than me, but like getting damn good these days.
Yeah.
Like they are legit players.
Right.
So
yeah,
you know, I would hire them for my own band.
Oh, you ain't kidding, man. I was super impressed, man, when I sat in on that I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago, whatever, which one I sat in on. It was down there in the it was District of Davenport there. I remember that. I just know it was down there.
Oh yeah, the Village Theater.
Yeah, man. It was so cool, man. You know, I was super stoked that you asked me to do that. It was packed, yeah, and it was such a fun night, man. And just watching these kids have so much fun, you know, and they were all great. You know, that was one of the hardest things I have ever had to do was pick somebody that I liked the best. I'm like, hell, they're all good. Who do I pick? You know?
Oh yeah.
But,
and, you know, it's the funny thing about Battle of the Band stuff. It's like really there shouldn't be competition in that kind of stuff. You know, especially when you're talking about kids on like a teenage level. Like there's a 13-year-old up against like an 18-year-old
right.
that's been doing it for a long time. Not necessarily fair, but the kids don't take it as seriously as the parents do. Like the parents get upset about stuff. The kids are like, "We just played a killer show. That was fun. I don't care if we win." But we want to like, with the whole battle, we're like, okay, it's not going to be judged necessarily on talent. Like we have it, all right. What's your stage presence like? You know, how's your crowd interaction?
Right.
How, you know, things that no matter what age you are, you can compete that way. And then we do it with a crowd vote also. So you have to teach yourself how to promote your band. Because if you're doing regular gigs on your own, if you don't promote your band, you're not going to get anybody after the shows. And you won't get hired to come back again because you're not bringing people to your shows. So we throw a lot of aspects in there, like this is how you do it as a band. You know, be entertaining, talk to the crowd, look cool, promote yourself. You know, especially nowadays, you got your social media and they're all on social media. Promote your band and get as many people as you can. And then like whoever wins, like all the other bands are happy for them. And we don't do it like it's not a cash prize; it's a recording.
Right.
So we take them to a recording studio, and they get to do their recording the original song. So it's all kind of bragging rights. But you know, if we did it as just a showcase show that we do throughout the year, the crowd doesn't get as big and as excited about it.
Right.
So that's why we do it, you know, and call it the Battle of the Bands.
Absolutely.
But it's really just a big party to put on the biggest show of the year for these kids.
Right. Absolutely. So how many of these students are still with you that were with you from day one? Have you got any that are still with you from day one?
Because now we're coming up on 10 years. I want to say we have just one or two from when we started in 2011. We have one of our student bands that's been together for 4.5 years, I think it is now. It's an all-girl band called Been There, Done That.
Right.
And when they started, they were 11 to 13 years old. And now they're 16 to 18 years old. A couple of them are graduating here in May. So, but the singer of that band, she came over. She was with our guitar instructor, Billy Gardner. He was teaching somewhere else before we opened up. And she had some lessons with him and came over with him, and she's been there the whole time. And I think that's maybe the only one that has been with us the full time. Because they all age out, after, once they go off to college or whatever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was just curious. I mean, I know that some of them students have been with you for, quite a few years. I didn't know if any had been around since day one. But
yeah, and it seems like the ones that get into the band program seem to stick around a lot longer. Just because you get to do the gigs, you get to really play it. I looked at it when with all the kids. We have over 300 kids that come for lessons. Playing in your bedroom is one thing, and it's like if you're on, say you play basketball, shooting hoops in your backyard by yourself. Yeah, you get to work on your skills a little bit, and it can be fun for a while. But playing in the game is a totally different thing. So you can play your guitar in your bedroom till the cows come home. But playing with the band on stage, totally different ball game.
Absolutely.
So we like with those kids, we really like once they get that taste of being in the band, like having the crowd cheer for them, they're like, oh yeah, I get it now. This is why we do it.
Absolutely. So Battle of the Bands maybe this year, right? There's a possibility.
There's a possibility.
And do you have
get rid of this COVID thing?
I know that's right. Is there a venue picked out, or is that something that's going to have to be a decision that's going to have to be made?
That's kind of a wait and see right now.
Right. Okay. All right,
but
man.
When it happens, it'll be in December. So we'll do something a 10th anniversary thing.
All right.
But
well, I'll try to make it back. Sure. If it happens, I'll definitely try to be there, man.
It'll be fun.
I had a blast last time, man. It was great. It was a good time, man.
So,
it blew my mind, really, man, to just see how many people were there. And it was just, the energy in the room and, the excitement of the parents and the friends. It was just a really cool experience.
Yeah. I could probably count on one hand how many of my own personal experience band shows have been anything close to that.
Right. Absolutely, man. I get it. Yeah. It was cool. So, hey, man, I got you on the horn here, man, you want to tell everybody where they can find you, where they can sign up for your school and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so it's TC Rock Academy, and so TCRockAcademy.com, and we're on all the social medias, and, Instagram's at QC Rock Academy, same as Twitter. Just search TC Rock Academy on Facebook. If you have somebody that wants to do lessons, we're doing in-person, and we do online, so we can really teach you from anywhere in the country. You don't have to be from the area. But, yeah, we always got a lot of stuff going on. 2020 was a scary one for us, but we've landed on our feet, and things are definitely looking up for this year. And, things are happening.
That's good. That's good to know, man. Well, Greg, man, I appreciate your time, brother, man. I appreciate having you on. I appreciate you doing the call in, and I hope all is
do it again.
I hope all is well. Absolutely, man. Yeah. Hope all is well with you.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to Florida, so.
Yeah, well, you don't have to keep saying it, man. You're killing.
I'm gonna be on a beach in the next 3-4 days, something like that. So.
See, man, I wouldn't even have had you on the show if I knew you were going to start talking like that, man. That's not even right.
I'll send you a picture.
Yeah, I bet you will. You don't even
postcard or something.
Yeah. Nah, brother, it's great talking to you, man. You're a great dude, man. I appreciate all you do for them kids back home, man. It's a great deal.
So, thank you, buddy.
Yeah. So yeah,
all
man.
Right, well, it's been fun.
We'll have you back on, and you have a great vacation, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bobby.
Take care, brother.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That concludes today's episode of the Metal Bob Live podcast. Please go to our website for our sponsor links. Thank you for listening. Metal Bob out.